Hey, what's happening, Cheesecake Nation? It's your old pals, Supercharged Funk, Dave, Merlin, and Seeky Sugar. Blasting at you with another This Week in Wrestling, or at least we would if a certain cat would get the hell off of my notes. Merlin. Okay. Nope, she's quite content to sit on my notes. Oh. Do you want to read the notes, Merlin? Is that what you want to do? Alright, so, starting off with Raw.
The Raw, you crash up. That's not even the Raw song. What the Raw song is.
So they're...
That's the only Raw song I really remember.
So, started off with them throwing the big party for Kevin Owens with the balloons and whatnot.
Is it a little weird that his balloons were super colorful when he actually has like a palette of red, white, and black?
Yeah, well, just to be festive. And of course, you know, everyone's cheering for him, you know, like, oh, you deserve it. And being the great heel that he is, was like, yeah, I deserve it. You know who doesn't deserve it? You guys, because you suck. Like, I just thought, no, he just does a great job.
I don't deserve it anymore.
Yeah. And of course, Seth Rollins comes out and they have a big altercation. They do the thing where it's like...
Yeah, that's a music I can't actually mouth sound, Seth Rollins.
And, you know, they get to the thing where Stephanie is just like, you're suspended. And Mick Foley's like, no, he's not.
No.
And, yeah, like, that was never really gonna happen. So,
For a second they had me. I was like, oh, God. Are they going to take Seth off of Raw as Rusev is off of Raw? What the hell am I going to watch Raw for? Braun Strowman. That's what I'll watch Raw for.
So they set up a couple matches for later on. But the first match of the night was Charlotte versus Bayley.
Alright. I've seen a lot of people kind of critiquing them on the fact that they didn't really set it up. Like, this felt like this could have been something they go into Clash of Champions, not Clash of the Champions, because they're not WCW. So fuck the. Like, this felt like it could have been something. Personally, I thought it was good, and they protected Charlotte. I think a lot of people kind of forget that whole fucking chestnut. Because Charlotte looked super duper strong in this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would say she looked stronger. Like, really, Bayley won on Dana fucking up.
Yeah.
Like, Dana is fucking up, so Charlotte's going to have to get rid of her, kind of thing.
And then they're definitely working that part of the story.
Alright, so assuming that is going to be the match, even though later on we would kind of also get something else, so maybe triple threat, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
Do you think they keep the title on Charlotte?
See, I don't know. I feel like...
Assuming it's a triple threat.
If it's a triple threat, then I can see it.
Okay. I can't see them putting it on the person we haven't discussed yet, and I think it's too soon for Bayley.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put it on her, but I feel like keeping it on
It'd be too soon. It'd be way too soon.
Yeah.
But,
I could see them doing something at, like, the Rumble, where Bayley picks it up and she's the champion going into...
Mania.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely too soon. I would keep it on Charlotte for right now.
Really, because I want to see Charlotte and Nia. But I think Nia is going into a different feud.
Yeah.
First, so I think she's going to get a little bit of a little simmer time, and then we'll see her kind of pick up the heat again.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't understand from what the hell we were talking about, Dana was going to hit Bayley, but then it got reversed, and she went head to head with Charlotte on a bonk, and then a roll up, right?
Yeah.
Or no, she hit the Bayley to belly, and then and then she won it with that. It was a little weird. She sold it as hard as she did.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it's a cool move, and I can dig it as a finish. Don't fucking count me as a hater. But it's not like oh my god, I'm dead. Like knockout move. I would have been happier with her rolling out and then kind of just giving us the evil eye as she leaves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
and then kind of selling the ribs and like, Dana, you idiot, and blah blah blah. It just kind of felt weird to be like,
yeah. Yeah, so that wasn't a bad little match, So, next up, we're just going to mention this once because I feel like it needs to be mentioned. The whole Connor's Cure promos they've been doing all this week.
yeah.
You guys...
I'm cool with them doing charity. It's just like, show another child.
Yeah.
Maybe one that was actually helped and lived.
Yeah, you would...
It's like, oh, we're donating money and stuff to dead kids. It's like, way to take the fun out of this. So,
Yeah,
show some kids that are struggling. Maybe have a little bit of a better diagnosis. Like, hey, if you give some money, these kids could be alright. We already think they're going to be alright. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And yeah, like, there's got to be some kids that are doing okay that are part of, like, this program.
Yeah,
like
show
put them
some
on there.
like,
So,
it's just not like, oh, yay, fun. And it's like, dead kid. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it does kind of take the piss out of it. But, again, it's a good charity, so...
Yeah, it's just like...
You can't,
it's such a
fault them
mood
for that.
killer. It'd be like something you want to throw on, like, I don't know, with Bray Wyatt. Like, to go from, like, hey, we want some bed, to dead kid.
Remember this adorable little guy? He's dead now.
Yeah.
You didn't donate.
Yeah.
So feel bad for Connor the Crusher, you sick bastard.
And it's just like,
Dead because of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'd be cool with them putting a
wrong.
ring rope up or something, but, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like, like some little, like, multicolor, kind of looks like hand.
Yeah, something like that.
So you're like, oh, that's the rope for Connor's Cure for this month.
Okay, so we also got confirmation that Grand Metalik, Jack Gallagher, and Akira Tozawa are coming in.
Two of my boys, the other one I'm not super sold on, but you liked them.
Oh yeah, I love Grand Metalik. So these three guys I really like.
Do you think it stops everybody else from using the Michinoku driver? And that's his finish?
Maybe.
The metallic driver?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
And do you think it stops everybody who's not named fucking Work Laser from using the German suplex?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a couple people use German suplexes here and there.
Yeah, like the only guys I can really think of, like Cesaro uses it, the American Alpha are using it.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. So next up, the next match was if you can believe this, a Bo Dallas squash match.
Not in the way you would think.
In that,
Did you see the sign in the crowd? Or actually, no, it was a guy who yelled it at him. He's like, "You're my Lion King, Bo." So yeah. So I have one major kind of kerfluffle, I guess is the best way to put it with this. He's still wearing his social outcast gear. Get some I Believe in Bo, go blow yourself shirt. Something. Go bow yourself. Get some new gear. Personally, I really wanted him just to be Bo Rotundo and then, I don't know, Curtis Hennig, Axe Hennig, and just let them be who they actually are. Even go back to Joe Hennig and just put them as a tag team on like a more serious side, where they're like, you know what, we've been trying to get over with our personalities and not play up our family's legacies, but you know what, screw that. This is who we are, and we're the best, blah, blah, blah. But this could be fun. I hope I hope old Curtis Axel gets a little bit of love too, somewhere down the line. But yeah, this was pretty good. I think Bo is super underrated as a worker.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he'll get a little bit of love down the line. I also don't know where he weighs in, but he might be pretty damn close to the cruiserweight line.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He doesn't look that big at all.
I don't know. He might be like 230, 240. They need to get to 205.
Alright, but, so yeah, again, this was a match, a squash match with Bo Dallas, where he was the squasher and not the...
Do you have the other guy's name?
It was Kyle Roberts.
Good on you, Kyle Roberts. You got murdered by Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, could have been Braun Strowman, but either You look like a,
I would assume in my kayfabe verse that like Kyle Roberts is in the back with Vince McMahon. He's like, oh, we got a couple open matches for you. He's like, either you got Braun Strowman or Bo Dallas. He's like, I'll take Bo. He's like, haha, I'm lying. You're going to ask Braun Strowman. Then Sin Cara came in. He's like, oh, for the Lucha Libre, everything holy. That's a Braun Strowman. He's like, alright, you got Bo Dallas. Or you're fired.
It don't even work for you. It's like,
I'll hire you.
it's like the episode of SpongeBob. Would you like a job starting today? Boy, would I. You're fired.
So that's what I assume. I'll bring you the cutter and fire you there.
Alright, so next up was the third out of the best of 7 Cesaro versus Sheamus match.
So going up. I feel like last week somebody might have booked that shit.
Yeah, that's definitely the way they were going. And you gotta say, it wasn't bad. You know, obviously they were going with that. You know, Cesaro was kind of.
He broke his ass.
Yeah, it's like, well, you can see right here where he hit his lower back, and it's like, no, Michael Cole, that is his ass.
Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't sell it as a tailbone injury. I guess they were like, that's too kooky. We wouldn't want to do that. But let's get on that ring.
How does Swiss Superman break his ass?
Just imagine, like, the unbelievably un-PC things Vince McMahon would say about a man breaking his ass.
Alright, so yeah, Sheamus gets the win. So it's
very strongly, very quickly.
Oh yeah, so making Sheamus look good.
So,
but as we would find out during their matches overseas, that Cesaro would come back and get his first win to break the
sweep.
To break the sweep. So, which kind of sucks that we didn't get to see that match on regular TV.
I'm cool with it.
But, you know...
We have 3 more.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, at the same time, this is a lot. You know, they've already had...
I wouldn't mind if they, wink wink, Rio de Janeiro this. Like, oh, Cesaro won 2 other ones on house shows. Like, oh, cool. So this is the finals.
Yeah.
It's like, alright, cool, let's wrap this shit up.
Alright, so then we had the End Zone cast versus the End Zone cast. End Zone cast versus the Shining Stars. So I'm guessing you were not a fan of
Any of this now?
Enzo's invisible baby.
No, I was not.
Softy, as I like to call him.
Soft. Yeah. They gave to a woman in the crowd.
It's like, yeah, I don't want it. You look like the kind of lady that would want one of these.
The invisible baby. But he got what he deserved. He lost to the Shining Stars.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Fate anyone could ever fall under.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll make the Shining Stars less suck.
I have a feeling this is all about, like, even the Steven booking. They're like, oh, they're kind of weak. Let's put them over somebody. Let's put them over these guys for no particular reason. I just have this feeling like they're just kind of waiting for the chance to break them up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's turning Enzo heel, because I feel like heel promos from Enzo could be really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then letting Cass just be like, hey, I'm going to wrestle you. I'm like a taller Roman Reigns. I don't particularly have much of a personality, but I'd like to wrestle you. I'm going to hit you with my foot in your face and then do my finish, which is a foot in the face, followed by the elbow drop, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of unclear what they want to do with the End Zone cast at the moment.
They need to give him some personality if they want to split him up. But
yeah.
That seems to be the way they're going, if they're going to have them lose to the goddamn Shining Stars.
Yeah, I mean, again, nowadays it's really hard to tell with the WWE, like how, because you never know, like especially with how these last few pay-per-views have been going. You think that they're going to do one thing
Well,
and
there's
then
definitely
they
a
don't.
need for a heel now that Seth is de facto a face.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be super face. I got a feeling he's just going to not play up a heel persona.
Yeah, he's going to kind of be in that gray area where, depending upon who he fights, he'll either be the face or the heel.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling he's going to play almost like the Randy Orton role.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he doesn't particularly
Kane,
change depending on whether he's a
Undertaker.
heel or a face. He's just kind of like, he's there, he'll wrestle you, he thinks he's going to win, he'll probably fight a little dirty.
Like, I think that's where you want that person to be.
Yeah.
Somebody like Seth Rollins, who is arguably the best in the business.
Yeah, right now I'd say he's probably the best. I know there's a lot of people that say AJ, but I feel like it's a little too soon.
Yeah, like nothing to take away nothing from AJ, but
yeah, I mean we're
right
literally
now,
talking about the best.
Seth, like I said, putting Seth in a position where he can be the good guy or the bad guy, that just sets up no matter what kind of match you want him for.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be behind him. You know, people can boo him, people can cheer him. He's just in that spot where he can feel comfortable and the fans can feel comfortable.
I got a question because I see this brought up a lot. How long do you think it is before they turn Owens face? Because I'm seeing people that are kind of starting to not give a shit about him and Zayn fighting.
Yeah,
and he's been a heel pretty much his whole time in WWE. There's not a whole lot of opponents left for him to go against.
I feel like he's got to make a turn sometime from here till about WrestleMania. Or maybe even a little bit after WrestleMania. But sometime by next summer. By next summer, he needs to turn face.
Let me throw on the old book and cap. Here's how I would do it. Alright, so we're going into Clash of Champions. I would have Seth Rollins roll through it. He gets the victory off of some Jericho shenanigans. Like, let's say Jericho takes out Roman for Kevin, but Seth throws Kevin through the ropes, hits Jericho on the way out, pins Roman. Seth's the new champion. He still gets a little bit of like, I'm a dick. Roman obviously gets his argument for like, hey, I got screwed again. Kevin has his rematch going forward, but first he's like, Jericho, you screwed me, you freaking jerk. And then like,
I thought you were my friend, Chris.
Yeah, they kind of have like a couple weeks of just like, hey, we're still friends, right? But they don't really trust each other. Then Jericho turns on him, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's like how you turn Kevin face. Kevin should just, just
maybe to kind of help that, maybe have Sammy help him.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like the only real way you could get because you know Sammy's a good guy, so I feel like
it's got to be something down the line though. Like it'd be so weird for him to just like, oh hey, we're friends again. Like it's almost like 80s Sting and Flair.
Yeah.
He's like, I trust you, guy who keeps betraying me. Like I've come to help you, for I am a man called Sting. He's a man called Sting. Like I just feel like Jericho's a strong enough heel. Maybe Kevin could save Sammy de facto, like during a Jericho match. Jericho grabs a chair after like Sammy does another ankle roll or whatever, and he's gonna take him out at the leg or something, and then Owens comes out and clears him, and then Sammy gets the chair and he's kind of looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And he's just like, "I'm not after you," and he goes out of the ring and chases Jericho off or something, and so Sammy's kind of like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then, a couple weeks down the line, Sammy can return the favor for him or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe, but that's more down the line.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Book and cap off, back to fan mode.
Alright,
That's how I would do it.
Next up we had yet another Nia Jax squash match against Ann Exposito, who is
You want to say that in like the comic book guy voice?
We had Nia Jax versus Ann Exposito.
Alright, there you go. So, apparently friends with Alicia Fox, which I think was literally just for, hey, let's get a program going because Alicia's not on TV and we're paying her. Why are we paying her?
Yeah, and you could obviously tell that like when they had their little backstage altercation thing. She did not mean to hit Nia Jax in the face with the shit she was flinging around.
she kind of had a look like...
Uh-oh.
No, it's more like big sister look.
Yeah, it's like...
That's my one issue with Nia, is she doesn't look mean.
Nah.
She looks like someone playing mean, and not well. I almost feel like they should just let her be. Let her have some fun out there. Alright. Trying to think the way to put this where it doesn't sound really fucking stupid and people are just like knee-jerk, like, no. I feel like she would be better in a Brodus sort of gimmick. Maybe a little bit more serious in the ring than Brodus. But somebody who can have fun out there, because she's not putting across scary. Like, she's just like, I'm angry. And she wrestles, but she wrestles like a very safe style. She doesn't do a whole lot of like punches and like forearm smashes or like chokes or any sort of like big mean person moves. Like, alright, I have to, just because they're doing it at the same time, compare it to Braun Strowman. Braun comes across like, holy fuck, I wouldn't.
I mean, the fact that he like growls and roars in his fucking entrance.
But I mean, like, he looks mean in the face. Even though he's got a baby face. You know, he's just kind of out there, he's angry. But, like, at the same time, like, everything he does looks like angry. Like, Nia Jax, other than when she looked like she was finally kind of getting pushed into a corner, like, I don't know if that was a little on the Shinsuke side.
She usually just looks mildly annoyed.
Yeah, like, Anne tried to put in a little bit too much, I think. And, like, Nia realized it was going to hurt her, so she had to, like, kind of... What do you think of her finish? I've been saying for a while I wish she would just use the jackhammer.
Yeah.
She's using like
totally not with that.
A shoulder carry into like a world's strongest slam, and it's just like it's like one move extra that doesn't do anything. Like, I would rather her either use like the Samoan drop or just a world's strongest slam. Like, the shoulder carry part to it is just like, it's too much shit that does nothing.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me like when you play in the video games, you can like set up a whole bunch of shit into your finisher. Like, yeah, like, it doesn't do anything. So either go World's Strongest Slam. I say jackhammer. I mean, if she can do it, I can't see anybody on the roster she can't jackhammer. Maybe Natty, but Natty's on the other show, so.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so jackhammer, and then she has the leg drop for those special people that she couldn't jackhammer. Like, she could leg drop Natty or something. So you got two big solid moves right there. Goldberg and Hogan got over pretty well. I mean, people still talk about them. So I think those are the moves. I'm not big on her finish right now. So yeah, she beats up Ann Exposito, or whatever. And then we get the, kind of cutting ahead, but we get a backstage promo with her and Alicia Fox. Where she's like, Alicia was walking up to see how her friend was. And she's like, how's your friend? And she's like, she's alright. I was like, wait.
No, she was coming out of the guest locker room or something.
It looked like she was just walking down the hall and Nia was coming out of there.
No, it was the other way around.
Okay. Must have just been the way the camera was
set.
set.
Nia just completely, Alicia Fox just completely flips out and starts throwing shit.
I have a hard time taking that character very seriously. So hopefully one of them will get a mean streak. Because neither one particularly came off like a mean. You had kind of crazy Alicia Fox from when she thought she was Stone Cold with the soda cans and she like and splashed them all over herself. That was cool. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that back. And Nia, she needs to get some meanness to her. Fucking, I don't care what you do. Pull some hair, or shove their face in the turnbuckle and just lean on them. Do something. Get some meanness in there.
All right, so going on, we had the club in the old day.
What in the flying fuck was this? This was among the worst angles I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, this was
It went on for so
cringy.
fucking long.
Yeah, I don't think it would be nearly as bad if it was that long.
the old day guys backwards, because one obviously was supposed to be Kofi, but they called him Xavier, and the one that was obviously Xavier they called Kofi, and I was just like...
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even just get New Day to come out and quickly put the end to this.
It just ran way too long, and it just...
This was
I'm
horrible.
sorry.
This was god awful.
Just,
Holy shit. I like everybody involved, but this was...
yeah.
Holy flying fucking dogs and cats and rainbows and unicorns. What the... Whoever booked this needs to go one-on-one with fucking the milkman and his underwear.
And have the milkman go over.
Yeah, he needs to put the milkman over. I mean, Kane did it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. This, I cannot imagine this was a Vince thing. This did not feel Vincey. This felt like some dumb fuck who doesn't understand wrestling must have come up with this storyline. This was Jesus fucking.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something where I'd said, this felt like something that could have worked on paper but would never work in wrestling. So it must have been one of like the writers that never had any wrestling experience.
Yeah.
Because that's what this felt like. Alright, that's enough time on this shit angle. Let's continue on.
Alright, speaking of shit, Darren Young versus Jinder Mahal with Titus on commentary. Moving right along, Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara.
I like this. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's not a real strong way to go. And to be fair, I think it was King Ross that pointed it out. The first time I saw it was, yeah, when Sin Cara went into the ring and Braun pulled him out and should have reset the count. But of all the fucking kayfabe breaking little stupid shits, I'll give that one a slide. Because he didn't roll out to break the count, so maybe, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm a big rules guy, but would you really have been happier if they had to stand there for 10 seconds of Braun being like, look at him, he's small, I'm a big guy, you're all small to me, I'm the best, beard. For like, 1, 2,
So yeah, this was just
3.
This was effectively a squash match. Though
4.
Sin Cara got a little offense in, but
5.
it was effectively all for naught.
6.
So Braun Strowman
7.
again goes undefeated.
8. 9. 10. Bing, ding, ding. That's how long it would have been if you guys really wanted that timer to restart. And I was counting fast.
Alrighty, so last match of the night is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Again, not a terrible match, but again, I mean,
We've seen it.
We've
too
seen
much in
better.
too short of a time.
Yeah, we've seen better versions of this match go on, and you know, it's wash, rinse, repeat. It's not a bad match by any means. Just we've seen it all before.
Yeah.
Kevin goes over Sammy.
Pretty much there's only one thing to really talk about left on Raw. What do you think about Roman Reigns having to earn his shot, even though it's Mick Foley, who's a de facto face?
Yeah, I think.
Should he have just gotten in like Seth did?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so.
I'm pretty sure Mick is a de facto face. Like, he's not a mixed face. He's just supposed to be a good guy. Like, Bryan and Shane are obviously good guys.
Yeah.
They favor the good guys. Mick seems really weird. Like, he's in that same... I think it's got to be because he's aligned with Stephanie and she plays up and down so much.
Yeah.
That no one can ever figure out what the fuck's going on when she's around.
Right.
So yeah, it was just weird. Like, why does Mick Foley not like Roman Reigns? Is he just like everybody else? So, I don't know.
Before we even start, I'm just going to say, this was not a very action-packed SmackDown. This was a very story-driven show. Again, Backlash is this Sunday, and you guys... I'm just going to say this right now. I had a major shift change at my job overnight. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, work Sundays from now on.
So we'll get to you guys on the next weekend one, but at the end of this one, we will be throwing out predictions and such. It'll take us a second as we gotta Google it, because I think right now there's only 6 matches.
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
And I assume there's a pre-show. So there's gotta be some other matches we just didn't talk about on television.
So, the way we're going to set up our show, because usually we go from Monday to Sunday, is usually the week.
Yeah, which is generally the WWE version of a week. But we're going to have to go with more of the...
Sunday Saturday.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys, going forward, but, you know, life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, man, you know, we do not have a whole bunch of subscribers. This YouTube thing isn't giving us money, so unfortunately, I gotta work
To make money.
in order to make money. I'm no Markiplier. We ain't the Game Grumps. We're not.
Or the wrestling versions of whatever that is.
Yeah. We're not.
Without further ado, you're ready to kick into
Yeah,
some SmackDown?
So first off, they had
A very long promo.
Yeah, of the women coming out, you know, talking about the match coming up, and just, you know, it is what it is.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was
No.
kind of long. It was a little on the longish side.
Yeah, and not everybody even came out. Like, it was only like half. No, it was
All
like
six came
it was
out, didn't
Becky, and then the 3 heels came out,
And the other two came out.
and then the other 2 to help Becky. So like,
Yeah, I mean, what is Naomi really going to say? You saw her on commentary.
yeah.
Not a good talker. No offense to you.
Which was weird because this wasn't the first match of the night. The first match was actually The Miz versus Apollo Crews with Dolph Ziggler on commentary.
So I think they've just kind of given up on Apollo Crews.
Yeah, or at least right now they're not focused on him at all. Like, I think they're...
He's slowly becoming the Cesaro.
Yeah.
He's a good hand, but that's pretty much all they're going to see in him.
Jesus Christ, Merlin. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? She is just a little firecracker, that cat. Give her over here. Give her over here. She'll sit down, probably.
Alright, so
Maybe.
back to whatever the hell we were talking about. First match was what?
Miz versus Apollo.
Alright, so yeah, they made him into the Cesaro, and they're just like, he's a good hand, he'll do good matches, but we're not going to get behind him kind of thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, they were making him to be such a big deal when he first crossed over.
I said it last week, I think he just needs to spend some time under the Cena
Yeah.
branch.
Yeah, this was, God, Miz looked great. Like, he was,
I've always thought Miz was really underrated for
Oh,
what
yeah,
he is.
absolutely.
He put in a solid match. He goes over fairly clean, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good showing for Miz. Ziggler did the standard heel or face thing of like, come get your title, come wrestle me. But I'm not a fan of that because Miz just wrestled a match.
Yeah.
So he sends his woman in, good old heat. Maurice gets the title, she leaves. Ziggler just kind of has to stand there like, dang it. I am foiled. I don't know. I don't like that spot, but it's a classic wrestling spot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why don't you just get out of the ring and wrestle him, Dolph? Captain Bravery, Lord of all that is good. Holy Knight sent from God to save us all from the evils. I don't know, it's a classic wrestling spot, but I just don't like that. Alright, so let's keep going on.
Alright, next up we had the aforementioned 6 women's tag match. Obviously, Team Face is Nikki, Becky, and Naomi versus Team Heel, Natty, Alexa, and Carmella.
The only thing that's really worth talking about is Naomi's entrance. She keeps getting stuff. As I said last week with my booking cap backwards, which is the merchandising cap. Get her some damn glow sticks. Sell them to the kids. Make some money, damn it. Usos can't be bringing all the money home. You know, let her bring some bacon home too. Glow sticks, I'm telling you, they'll sell like hotcakes. Maybe get some of those stunner shades with like the black light paint on them so all the kids can look cool. Alright, and the other thing was Carmella goes over with her choke on Nikki.
Over Nikki?
Yeah, I kind of got a feeling she's taking the pin and Nikki's the champ after the pay-per-view. I got a feeling Becky's going to go out to some 3-on-1 shenanigans. I got a feeling after that you're probably going to see Natty go out. Naomi's going to miss she's going to miss something, I'm guessing, and then she's going to go. Then Alexa and Carmella are going to team up on Natty, or on Nikki, Nikki will hit her big forearm thing, shove her, hit her finish. Alexa will be out. And then I got a feeling Nikki's going to either do a yes lock or an AA and win. I got a feeling she's going to pick up one of those two moves because the thing she's using right now, I'm just not that big a fan of. I don't see an issue with her using John Cena's finish.
No.
I mean, everybody pretty much thinks of her as the John Cena of the women's division. Like this thing that just will not leave. But also a big star, the K-Power, and all that good shit.
Alright, so, going on, which is something I think we've been waiting for a long time, but we'll get to that. The next matchup in the tag team tourney, the Usos versus American Alpha.
I was surprised by how short the match was, but they kind of protected the Usos by, like, it was kind of like a quick, like, oh shit, and got the move and got out.
Yeah. So,
And then the Usos did their best Revival impression. So I'll let you kind of explain because I do a lot of talking.
Alright. So I like what they did at the beginning. Like they did the quick, like how let's try and get them real quick, and then they were like, well, you guys got us, we goofed, and so and then total 180 super heel turn for the Usos.
I had one issue with what they did. Uso 1 put in a leg lock, and Uso 2 jumped on the other leg that wasn't in the leg lock.
Oh yeah. They did do that, didn't they?
Like, oh, okay. Revival did it better. So, yeah. It's weird that they would repeat this angle with American Alpha right away. Like, as soon as they left the Revival, like, they immediately go and do this angle that is immediately reminiscent of what the Revival does on NXT. But I kind of wish they would have gone with something else.
Yeah.
Like, give them... The Usos need some freshening up. Give them a new move in their moveset that could be... You know what I would have given them? A double jumping squisher. Like, and then hit him in the chest and he's got broken ribs. That's a believable thing. They're big boys. They both hit the turnbuckles, come back to back, and just, like, smush the guy in between, and then he just sells it like his ribs are broken.
And nobody's really doing anything like that.
Yeah, I think it could work. Just something like that. Because they did not do that move right. The thing to take the leg out.
So, yeah, so no, I didn't get a chance to see Talking Smack. So what did they say? Like,
alright, so if you guys don't watch it, it's generally Daniel Bryan and Renee. They will have a couple people on. This week it was Shane who came on just to kind of shoot the shit a little bit, but he also informed us that 2 to 4 weeks American Alpha are out, and somewhere, I'm assuming pre-show is going to be the Hype Brothers, as Daniel Bryan calls them because he gets everyone's name wrong, versus the Usos without the brothers on the end of it. It would have been awesome if we called them the Uso Bros.
The Brosos.
And then the winner of that gets to fight Heathy Boy and Rhino for the titles.
Actually, let's get right into that match. There was only one match. Well, actually, it wasn't even a match. Like, Fandango was in the middle of the ring with some tattoo lady doing a little jigamaroo, and then he didn't like the way she shook her hips.
This was SmackDown's version of that fucking Raw angle with the club. Holy God, this went on way too long. It made no sense. No one laughed. Kane came out. Young man Kane came out to get the rub off Dango. I mean, I guess he needed a win back after he put over the Milkman. So why not beat up a defenseless Dangler? This is where Apollo Crews should be. Like, you should have somebody else losing to Miz, and Apollo Crews, and he's just like, did you insult this lady? Like, we don't insult ladies where I'm from, and he just beats up Dangler.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's just like, he's a good guy, and he's like an ass kicker. And if you piss him off, he's going to break your fucking head.
So yeah, the next match was...
And god damn it, stop calling it Insegiri. It is the Ghetto Blaster, but I get it, you don't want to use it. Cruise Missile. I'm giving it to you. Or the Cruise Line. One of them. God damn it, stop calling it Insegiri.
Alright, so the next match was the Hypros versus Heath Slater and Rhino.
With Heathy Boy's kids at
Yeah, his little kayfabe family.
Some of them look like they're only a few years younger than him.
They had like two guys in suits, you know, like a couple girls dressed up normally, and then the one kid in the fucking overalls.
I guarantee, like, Vince must have just seen, like, Cletus the Slackjawed Yokel, and he's like, oh, we need that. And he's like, well, I'm from West Virginia, I can do that. Perfect. Take Rhino with you. So, yeah, I'm digging it. Definitely need to make a Heath's Kids shirt. Get on it, WWE.
So, yeah,
They beat the hype. Rhino beats the Hype Bros.
That wasn't a terrible little match, you know, I mean, it was entertaining.
I'm still not super sold on Mojo.
Right, yeah. Neither am I. I mean, I could definitely see,
He's snug ski. I'll give him that. If
yeah.
he's not potatoing. He's looking pretty good. I don't know though. He does look pretty snug.
Like I could see, like I think we were talking about, like if Hawkins came back.
Oh yeah.
He, and this would give a good reason for Ryder to go heel again. Talk about, you know, nobody believes in him. You know, nobody takes him seriously. This whole like just go off on his gimmick and then.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you guys you're all like woo 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 every time I come out, but when they're like, who should get the title, you all cheer when AJ comes out. You all cheer when Ziggler was out there. I thought we had a connection. I tried everything. You know, that kind of promo where he puts it on the crowd, that could work. Hawkins is back. The Major Brothers are back. Or the Edgeheads, whatever they want to call them. Or even come with a new tag team. Just call them Ryder and Hawkins. And let them kind of do their thing. Give Hawkins kind of a devil's advocate kind of gimmick where he's always talking up to Ryder. And he's like, man, you've been here for, you know, so long. They don't care about you. And then you can also do it for some other guys.
Yeah, like before, like you see, like when Hawkins gets his first, like, hey man, you know, it's good to see you, you know, it's like, so you got a new tag team partner. It's like, yeah, remember when we were a tag team, you know, that was great, you know. Yeah. And after a couple weeks, like he just kind of gets in his head. Yeah,
where he just kind of like he's always there. Mojo's kind of like, hey man, I don't know. He seems, you know, I'm getting some bad vibes off him, kind of thing. Like that could work. And then they take out Mojo, and then Mojo can come back and. He can feud with both of them, or feud with Hawkins, feud with Ryder. You know, give Mojo a little bit of something to do, gives Hawkins something to do immediately, gets Ryder, you know, some major TV time. Like, that's an angle that could work. And then you would also have Hawkins talk to some of the other guys that are on SmackDown that are like, hey man, what are you doing? Like Ziggler. I think Ziggler's probably the most obvious one.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I saw you match best one on the night. Did that get you anywhere though?
Yeah.
Like, you were just fighting for the world title. You did really good. Now what are you doing? That kind of stuff, and then, you know, that's where he gets the heel turn. That's where he can align himself with either Diesel, God forbid. Baron Corbin is another name I keep hearing as, like, Dolph Sevi.
Which would be really weird. But
you know what I would take?
This is WWE. They always forget storylines.
You know what I would take? I'd clean up Eric Rowan. And that could be his guy. You know, shave his beard down so it's kind of more of a clean cut. Give him some of that 80s biker swag shit that Ziggler wears. And he's just kind of got like a club style t-shirt on, not the club, like he's like the bouncer, and he's just out there, you know, looking mean and being big.
I can totally see that. That'd be pretty cool.
And I'll give you the finish too. He does the head squisher, and Ziggler super kicks it. That's a finish right there.
Block and pop.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what they could even call it. Well, we're giving it to you.
Yeah.
Calling it the lock and pop.
Because that gets Rowan something to do. Gets him away from breaks. I think that's what he needs. It gives Harper a fresh start when he comes back. Strowman's doing good, and Bray he needs a little bit of help. You know, give him something to do that's away from his Wyatt family. Gets everybody a little bit of love.
Sure, you okay?
And even you could give Rowan like a new name. All right, so let's roll on forward.
And the last match, no, that was the last match. All we had left was a promo with AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. Shit, I can't even remember what happened in this.
They argued.
Styles. Oh yeah, Gave him the bowling trophy, saying that's the only trophy I'm ever going to give you. And then Styles kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah, as payback for the week before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this entire episode, AJ has just been like, think that's funny? You know, like breaking shit and threw that one dude's phone against the wall. And he was talking to that other dude, like, did you give her that footage? Like, do you got a family? Do you want to be poor? Fuck off.
The best thing I've learned about AJ Styles is he calls his groin his Jesus zipper. Alright, so let's move on. Where do you want to go? CWC, NXT?
Looking at... I'll do CWC. There's only 2 matches, so...
Alright, so we had kick-starting us off.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Noam Dar. Now, before we even get into this, neither of us have been really sold on Noam Dar. This is definitely the best match he's had.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this before we did the recording. Because we both heard a lot about Noam Dar before this came on. Like, Finn Balor's been talking him up, and I guarantee he's going to get a contract. I mean, they love Balor, and apparently he's friends with Balor. I don't know what else he could possibly be doing. So, yeah, I assume we're going to see him in WWE before too long.
Yeah.
WWE proper, if you will. I got a feeling he's coming. Cedric Alexander's coming. Fabian Eichner, I could definitely see WWE wanting to pick up. Maybe some of the other guys that didn't get him cheap enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get Sabre or Ibushi.
Yeah, I think they already talked to Ibushi, and I think he actually turned down a contract.
Yeah, but they could also throw him some money.
True.
It depends on what they want to do. I assume that's probably his deal. Is they don't probably want to pay him top dollar because he can't speak English.
Probably.
Which is a fair enough deal. I mean, all right. Before we kind of, well, I guess we gotta have to go through all this. I think. Noam and Zack Sabre. What was the other one?
Rich Swann and TJ
All right,
Perkins.
so we gotta get through that match before we can talk about this thing I wanted to talk about. All right, so yeah, this first match, very solid. Zack Sabre and Noam Dar, very technical, a lot of ground base.
Yeah.
All right. Noam Dar switching from working the leg, which is his finish area, to, what was it, the elbow?
Yeah.
A little weird, a little questionable. I get the idea behind it, but it's like, I don't know. Storytelling wise, unless your story was he's young and inexperienced, which fair enough could have been. I just didn't get that. It didn't seem like that was the story they were telling.
Yeah.
That, you know, he's just too young to have stuck on game plan. Like, that should have been on the announcers to put it over.
Yeah.
You know, I love Brian and Morrow, but, you know, that should have been something they could have put forward.
Yeah.
So, other than that, really good match. I don't think what the hell to call the finish. A Rings of Saturn, but because his elbow was worked over, he couldn't lock it in with his arms, so he like wrapped his legs around the inside of the elbows of Dar and squeezed down, and that was your finish, a submission victory. Very solid. Zack Sabre Jr. moves on. Alright, so your boy, Rich Swann, versus TJ Perkins. This one told a little bit better of a story, I thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was very like two friends. It was very. It wasn't as like brutal as Tommaso and Ciampa
And
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
But you could see it. You could feel it.
The thing I liked is it felt like the knee injury was organic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a legit one, and that's why. But the fact that he didn't immediately go to it, he had to see it first.
Yeah.
And then he started working the leg. And then with the finish, as soon as he got the win, he immediately broke the hold and checked on his friend.
Yeah.
That was really good. If they planned for the knee injury, and that's the story they were telling, great job. It makes a lot of sense from both their perspectives. Rich Swann, a lot of his moves come from jumping. he did a great job of selling it. If it was not a legit injury, if it was, tons of heart. I honestly don't know. He did an amazing job selling it.
Absolutely.
If he wasn't a little bit on the legit ski hurt. So, it's pretty much all to say. We got our 4 now, and here's kind of the thing I was going to say. So, we got TJ Perkins representing the Philippines. He'll be going against Kota Ibushi representing Japan. You have Grant Metalik representing Mexico, and Zack Sabre Jr. representing UK. Are you surprised there's not an American in the Final 4 of a WWE tournament?
A little bit.
Especially when they went all like, countries represent each other. And this is Vince McMahon, who fired Fit Finlay for booking an angle of interrupting the national anthem. Long time. Everybody likes him, Fit Finlay. So I was a little surprised. I think Vince has his hands off this one.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's just been straight up wrestling, not a whole lot of like story carry over. So out of the 4, who do you? We've kind of been able to tell 3 of these people were going to go to the finals.
Yeah.
From the beginning, TJP was cool to see. I think he's going to get a contract. I mean, the fact that he's friends with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I would say of the 4, he seems... obviously, we know Grant Metalik has a contract.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know that, I would say TJP was probably the one getting the contract.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
But if he isn't, do you think that causes Grant Metalik to win? The fact that he's the only one going to WWE, do you think they want the winner to not be in WWE?
That's a very good question.
Because at first, before the tournament even started, I would have assumed it was going to be Zack Sabre and Kota Ibushi, but I think they were thinking, we're to put it on Kota Ibushi, and he's going to come to us. If he's not coming there, I can't imagine they're giving him the title to go back to New Japan.
I would be very, very surprised if they did that. Like, I just can't see that.
I kind of have a feeling your finals are going to be TJP and Grant Metalik. With Grant Metalik already signed, they've kind of built it up. Unless they have plans to, literally right then, announce TJP signing.
Yeah, like
he's
when
the champion. Triple H comes out, gives him that thing. He's like,
hands him a contract.
And he's like, "You did good, son. What are you planning on doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna use this to get some, book some indie dates." He's like, "If you could do that, or you come to the developmental center, here's a contract, blah blah blah," and
Yeah.
That's kind of like the only way I see Grant Metalik not winning, is if they know TJ's coming to the WWE.
Yeah, and they're saving that for when he wins.
Yeah, but the fact that they didn't really super put out Grant Metalik, you haven't really seen it on SmackDown, might also. I assume it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah.
I'm not super sold on Metalik, so I'm kind of hoping it's TJ. I could also see Kota beating TJ and Grant Metalik winning. I think Grant Metalik's winning either way. I think they see he's going to be their next Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's their plan in their head. Kota not signing, I think, hurts his chances of winning this. I think immeasurably hurts him. So that's why I got to say Perkins, and then go Perkins. That's my pick. I'm locking it in. I could be wrong. He could lose to him, and I'd be out immediately. But I'm putting it on Perkins.
Yeah, I feel like I also have to go with Perkins.
He seems to be the guy. He's got the best story of the remaining guys. Unless Zack Sabre's also planning on signing, but I don't think he is.
No.
He seems like one of those guys that's happy doing indies. I don't know. I feel like immediately the person that wins this has to have a claim for the new Cruiserweight title.
Right.
So I feel like that's got to be your plan. And then I think a lot of the guys they haven't announced are also going to get signed that we were talking about. The ones I can really see, without a doubt, I think they're going to go for is the 2 dudes that were on NXT this week, Daivari and the Premier Athlete. What's his
Tony
name?
Nese?
Tony Nese. I think I'd be amazed if they don't offer Tony Nese a contract.
Yeah.
Maybe he turns it down, whatever. Good for him, I guess. And Mustafa Ali, I think he looks like that kind of guy WWE would want. Seemed like he had good character, solid ring worker. Lindsay Dorado, another guy who seemed like he had a lot of character. I could see them wanting to bring in. Fabian Eichner, I brought him up earlier, but he's a big muscle dude.
Gulak.
Gulak, or Little Rusev as I call him. Maybe. I don't know what his character's like, and that's going to hurt him in WWE if he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 3 they have signed right now. Out of anybody else, Rich Swann's already in NXT.
Yeah.
Obviously Ciampa and Gargano. Anybody else you see there that you're like, I'd go after this guy.
I don't think we pretty much covered everybody, really.
Maybe the Bollywood boys, but I didn't think they were that special. But WWE always could use some more tag teams.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, they're Canadian, so it's not like you have to ship them from fucking the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everybody.
Yeah. Alright, what about guys like the Mac? I didn't think he was... I know you liked him.
I thought he was
Michael
alright.
Jackson thing. I think he's still a little... He feels very much indie. He doesn't feel like WWE ready yet.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. I feel like he needs a little bit more time.
I think they already confirmed Cedric Alexander was going to get a contract on that episode.
Yeah.
I think they just haven't put it out yet. They're probably, negotiating terms and stuff. I'm sure he's probably booked for other indie dates he has to get through first. Same thing happened with Joe when he signed. Guys you're a little surprised that aren't in the Cruiserweight title, or Cruiserweight contention, Eric Young.
Yeah.
I don't know what he weighs in at, but he's not that big. But, yeah, I was just thinking about that like a couple days ago. Like, he would have been a really good one to be in there.
Yeah.
The other, the Samoan dude, what was his name? He wrestled Ibushi in the first one.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name. Like, I could picture him in his gear and stuff,
Yeah.
but I can't think of what the hell his name was. Maluda. Sean Maluda.
Sean Maluda, yeah.
I could see him being picked up, too. He just, family connection. I could see them picking him up just to fill out the roster. And then they obviously have Neville and Sin Cara already built in on Raw. You could bring up a couple other guys from NXT if you really wanted to. I think that's where Cien Almas is headed. I don't know how big Ty Dillinger is. He doesn't seem that big, so maybe he's over the 205, but I don't know.
Alright, moving along to NXT. This was kind of, I gotta say though, with NXT, a lot of the shows are
Skippable.
hit and miss.
Well, it's because they have so long in between pay-per-views that they can kind of slow burn stuff.
Yeah.
And so they don't really feel like they need to build up stuff. Like right now, nobody's really in contention for any of the titles. Other than Gargano and Ciampa being built up.
I'm sorry, Merlin is just like the weirdest cat. She's
She's also like 200 degrees. Putting out all the body heat in the universe. It's like the warmest thing ever.
Alright, so match number 1 for the night. TM61 versus Tony Nese and Aria Daivari. I'm sorry. Aria Daivari. Like, how the hell? I guess I was just writing fast.
Aria.
Yeah.
Daivari. Yeah, so pretty solid match. Kind of a weird team to just like two guys
throw together.
I guess they were kind of like, hey, who wants to work NXT? They probably had a group of them, and they're like, all right, you guys are working singles, and you guys are left over to tag. The way they've made sure to protect Tony Nese, I kind of have a feeling that that's the one they want.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll keep Aria Daivari. I mean, I don't know if there's a whole lot of love lost for his brother.
Yeah.
But whatever. Learn their names fondly. I'm going to call them Will Miller in the blue and Wisp Thorne in the orange. And you can tell because Thorne has tattoos, and to get a tattoo you need a needle, and Thorns have needles. That's how to remember. The more you know. Alright, so yeah, pretty solid little match. I still hate that's called Thunder Valley instead of Thunder Down Under.
Yeah.
The Jables things, you could say. Morrow, Thunder Down Under. Me and Ron Simmons used to use a version of that when we were wrestling in Australia. Bagel.
So yeah, Will-O-Wisp picks up the victory. Woohoo. Wasn't terrible.
it was a pretty solid match.
Yeah.
A couple little cool spots, but nothing super duper awesome.
Nothing really to write home about. Next up, women's match. Ember Moon. What did they call her?
The
War Goddess?
Yeah, the War Goddess.
Of NXT. This is Leia Vaughn. It wasn't a squash, I think, but...
Yeah, Leia got in quite a bit of offense for a squash. But it was effectively a pretty quick little, hey, let's show off the finish. I kind of talked about this on Facebook, because I'm following Ember Moon. A little worried about her constantly taking a top rope ass bump.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody who's Tennessee Jam. You know, talk to fucking Hogan. He just did a standing ass flop. And now he's 4 inches shorter and walks with a limp. So, you know, maybe something else, and then save that for like your WrestleManias, your SummerSlams, your major matches that matter a lot. Alright. Kind of something, little side tangent to go off of. Would you have an issue with her using the Stone Cold Stunner?
No.
Me either. I think it's time somebody could use it.
Like, you could make the argument for a guy using it, but I don't think anyone should have a problem with a woman using it.
Yeah, as long as she uses it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, as long as she's not, you know, catching the foot, swinging around stunner. You know.
Even I don't think, even if a guy started using it, I mean, we got...
Well, I've always thought that it's like, because I always thought when somebody uses their opponent's finisher against them, I always like that spot. Use some finishers from the past. You're like, oh shit, my finisher's not working. Let's try some other stuff. So why not throw out like a rock bottom or a Stone Cold Stunner or something like that? Throw a big leg drop. Drop a Macho Man.
Merlin, I swear to God. I'll get it. No.
I want to be on camera. I think next time we record, you're going to go in the other room.
You're such a ham, you know that?
Alright, so now I forgot what I was talking about.
Okay.
Oh, about people using other people's finishers. Yeah, I always thought it was weird they never try them out. Like, Hogan doesn't need to be in the match for somebody to drop a big leg. Just try something. You're like, oh. Like, Ryback did the jackhammer in one of his matches. Like, that was cool. Nia did a jackhammer. Somebody should use that as a finish. I mean, I don't think any move outside of the Tombstone while Undertaker's still wrestling in the company is sacred. You know, feel free to use it as long as, you know, somebody else isn't already using it in the company right now. Same reason I'm cool with Seth using the pedigree. So I think it's time for somebody to use the stunner.
And, well, I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, you know, he's Triple H's boy, so it makes, you know, there's a storyline.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, but in general,
Let somebody use it. Yeah. So.
Alright, so, next up, we had the most average man that ever lived, Austin Aries versus Andrade, No More Luchador, Cien Almas.
Who is, in fact, 100.
Whatever the fuck that means. You saw it on his shirt, so we know it's true.
Cien means 100.
I know that. I'm just saying.
That's the joke. Why aren't you laughing? Alright, I'm going to be super fair to old 100. I think he's a solid in-ring worker. Not super huge on the finish because you can't do it to make it look like you hit right. So I call it the flying cock meat sandwich. Because it looks like he just does like a running cock to the corner. So he needs something other than that for a finish. I'd recommend maybe a jumping senton or jumping swanton, or, you know, just something to something from the top rope, because the cock meat sandwich is just not good. I'll give him my old WWE video game maneuver. You hit him in the corner with a clothesline. You throw him to the center of the ring. You climb up on the thing, jump, catch him in a bulldog him straight to the ground out of the air. Solid little finish, if I say so myself. That was my finish I created in the WWE games for my character. I'm passing it on to you. Take it 100, be 100.
Ole. Austin gets the victory.
It's weird, don't call him Austin. It's like Leia Vaughn having Leia on her trunks instead of Vaughn. Mr. Aries. The man I don't particularly care for. He had a very, very low angle powerbomb like that.
Yeah.
Like, he just like, it was almost like a powerbomb spine buster.
Yeah.
And then immediately like rolled him over, flipped him, last chancery. Solid little match. Like I said, I think they're both solid workers, just not my cup of teas. You know.
And
Did we skip my my favorite promo?
no.
Thank God. I want to talk about that when we get to it. Are we there?
Yeah.
All right. So we had a promo.
It's either before or after this match, but
Thurman Phillips and Asuka. They talked about how awesome Asuka is, and how she's like the light of the universe. She's perfect in every way. So, anyways, they continued on, and effectively, she said, Bayley, she respects her, and Bayley fought hard, but Asuka fought harder. And there's no one that she's been scouting out of the women's locker room that she thinks can beat her right now. Now, in my opinion, if you will, if I had to throw on the old booking cap, I agree with her. As of right now, there's nobody who can beat her. I think you keep building up Ember, and when you want to get Asuka up to SmackDown, sure, you come up with a new finish, but she beats her with her twisting stunner thing. And you give it a goddamn name. Alright, until then, I think Asuka just needs to go on a rampage, killing all the women. Like, every week, open challenge, she beats somebody. And then eventually, TakeOver rolls around, and that's where you could have Ember finally beat her. Takes the title, and Asuka is defeated. And I think you start to slowly kind of creep towards heelish territory with Asuka.
Yeah.
We had a little talk about this. I can take this Booker's cap off now. Asuka promo
Sugar.
versus Nakamura's promo from last week.
Sugar. Oh, goodness.
I liked Asuka's promo more, but I'm also going to admit my bias.
No, sure, you can't sit on Merlin's head. My God. Oh my God, these cats. Oh my God, these cats. Please continue.
I was asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I thought Asuka had the better promo between her and Nakamura.
Oh, absolutely.
They weren't even going to throw in old Hideo Itami. He cut a promo about his shoes. Which of the three was your favorite?
Definitely Asuka's. I mean, she definitely looked like she didn't mush her words. Like she knew exactly what she was saying.
It also looked a little choppy, kind of like
Yeah.
they were stopping and taking another one, which I'm cool with. I have no issue with that. I've noticed it, but it's like, it's wrestling. Guess who gets to some cleanup after this video?
Oh, fantastic.
So, too energized, I guess. So, continuing on, what happened after this promo? Oh, she spoke Japanese to her Japanese fans. That was kind of cool. Effectively, she said, I'm going to keep on winning, and I love you all, effectively. Like, I'm number one, and then no one is ready for Asuka.
Yeah.
So, was there another match other than main event?
Nope.
Main event time. Sean Cutler?
Steve Cutler.
Steve. Get some new goddamn ring gear. Cutler. He was wearing some fucking manties. Like, as a man, he needs to get him some Jack Swagger gear. Some singlets. Like, it didn't help that his shorts were also like super faded, so it just had to look like he was borrowing like some old-timey wrestler's wrestling gear. But yeah, somehow this man, who's I think had 2 matches on television, got to face the world champion. with Samoa Joe on commentary, who was very non-Samoa Joey.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, oh yeah, Nakamura, he kicks pretty good. He's got a strong submission game. I think he's good.
Yeah, he definitely deserved to win.
But like the week before he lost the title, he's like, I will kill you and your children that you do not have. I will reach into the future and pluck their lives.
And I will bite their heads off. And then I will eat you again.
I will Terminator myself through time, naked Samoa Joe, and find your future children and choke them to death while naked.
Jesus fucking Christ. Was it the third time she's done this? Shouldn't she? It's like, no! No, I do! I don't wanna! I gotta be in the video! Everybody's gotta know who I am! Gotta be famous! Fuck that grumpy cat bitch!
Alright, so we're gonna take a quick break, guys, from here. We're gonna go microwave this one. Try to do some cleanup and figure out what the hell are in the Backlash L matches so we can give our predictions before the pay-per-view. Alright guys, till then, see you in a little bit. Well, technically like a second for you guys.
Alright guys.
Adios.
So.
That's it, that's all my Spanish.
So,
go to America talk right about now for some Lucha Underground.
In case you're wondering, between the cat and...
Wearing pants, because I was dumb and I didn't do laundry yesterday. So I was like, shit, I'm out of shorts. It's not that hot out. But when Merlin is sitting on my crotch and wearing a Lucha mask, I was like...
So, it is now the Season 3 of Lucha Underground.
El Primero.
So, we start off
Primero.
with Dario getting out of jail for killing that one guy.
His extended vacation. I don't want to start shit with Dario.
No. And of course we get a little bit more of that big boss.
Who is apparently wearing, like, knight's gauntlets.
Yeah. So,
like,
still know much about
if
him.
you fail me again, I will murder you effectively. Yeah. He's like, okay, I won't do that.
And then we get back, he's like, hey, everybody, Lucha! And then, and he reveals the Dial of Doom.
Dario's Dial of Doom.
And basically, anybody that hasn't gotten a title opportunity is put on the wheel, and the first opponent...
Did you notice some of the names that were up there?
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Wagner? Like,
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's not here. He's doing stuff in Mexico. And then, like, Mariposa. Could you imagine if it landed on Mariposa? Like, who do I feel bad for? Like, that bitch who was, like, effectively raping Sexy Star, or, like, that guy I don't particularly much care for in wrestling.
So, the very first match of the night was against Matanza for the championship. It was Son of Havoc. So, this was a fun little match. Like, Son of Havoc looked great. Definitely. But, he...
Was it just me, or is he looking a little, maybe a little bit of...
Maybe. I don't know, I'd have to...
Do a blood test? I don't know. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. He was looking a little, brick shit wally. Shit house, I guess. He was the wall of the brick shit house. Like, one wall was ripped off, and that was Son of Havoc. I was like, he was still moving pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah, so this was a lot more entertaining than a lot of Matanza's previous matches, so...
Yeah, I think
fixed him up a
the
little.
fact that they have Havoc just able to bounce around for him really helped him.
Oh, definitely.
Because he was kind of being worn out with the old the heifer smasheroos. I'm trying to think of a way to say it other than a big hoss match. In fact, that's what it is.
So, obviously, Son of Havoc did not succeed. Matanza retains.
With the Wrath of the Gods. Or that move of the gods, and they're not very happy.
So then we get another little promo with the Dick Kick Mafia.
All right, we got to talk about this one.
Okay.
All right, so Sexy Star and Taya, solid little match.
Yeah.
Good shit. Looking. It's looking fantastic. It was a little cringy though once the guys came out and put the boots to a woman. Now, I'm okay with one-on-one intergender matches in Lucha. Not so much when it's three guys
Curb stomping.
Yeah, the ever-loving shit out of a woman. It's like... Yeah. It's like one of those things where you wouldn't want somebody who isn't a wrestling fan to come in and watch.
Yeah, that's their
see
first
what you're
thing.
watching.
Yeah.
It's like, what's this? Oh, this is professional wrestling. It's got a long and storied history. Here's three men stomping this shit out of a woman.
In a skirt, no less.
Yeah. Just like...
And of course, the Trios champions come out, what is Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix.
Yeah.
They come out, save the day.
So obviously that's going to be a 8-person match somewhere down the line.
That could be interesting. So obviously Sexy Star picks up the win, keeps her Gift of the Gods title match, and then we get a little promo in Dario's office once again with Marty the Moth Martinez, talking about how
I like that his gimmick is he's somehow has the bloodline of Aztecs, despite the fact I'm pretty sure he's a white guy. We had a cool promo line from Dario. I like that. Where he's like, when my family, the Spaniards, came, we learned real quick what the difference between, I don't remember how exactly he put it, but like about going to war, effectively. And it was like, oh, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Good shit. So that gives us, he's Spanish, and Marty is Aztecian. I'm trying to think, like, is there a... I don't think people like
Native
claim
Mexican.
that. Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah, pretty sure he's a white guy, but apparently you learn more about that Marty's family is somehow involved, possibly with the big guy, possibly just another crime family.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of knew that the Moths were important, well, technically like the Butterfly family.
Yeah.
And Mariposa is kind of like the head of the household, as far as we know. Technically the big guy could be something else. Like, I am the Mothman. Whew. He just comes out and like murders people. But he's dressed as like Arthur from The Tick. But he's like 6'8" and just like Braun Strowman.
He's just he's the Tick, but dressed up as Arthur.
Yeah. His like finishing move is just like a jumping skull crush. He just like jumps up and stomps on the side of your head. People just like, oh, he looks funny. So I don't know. Hopefully we get to see that guy sometime this season. But yeah, pretty solid promo. So we found out that what was the match called? Did you write it down? It's some sort of weapons match between Killshot and Marty.
I did not write it down.
Yeah, it had a weird name, but effectively that's what it sounded like. No holds barred,
Yeah.
weapons are around kind of match. Something along the lines of what Dean Ambrose just had with Chris Jericho,
Yeah.
where they did the weapons. I don't know if there'll be a cage or not. TNA has a similar one.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't the Aztec Warfare match.
No, that's
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah.
that's where they go for the little
Yeah.
the big
That's-
gun.
Alright, so yeah, we have that coming up. I really like Marty the Moth. I think he's a great heel. I know Erin, being the newer fan to wrestling, she hates characters like that. And I'm just like... I think it's hysterical because that's...
Well,
That's
it's
what
also
they're going
kind of
for.
like, he's a creepy guy, so like as other guys we're kind of like, oh, he's a creepy bastard, but to girls it's like,
yeah.
oh, get away from me.
Oh my god, do you even shower? Ah!
Yeah, like they could probably relate to somebody they knew growing up at least. This creepy, sweaty man.
Alrighty, so last match of the night. Pretty damn good match. Rey Mysterio versus Pentagon Dark.
It was a good match.
How did you
I'm
feel
not
about that?
super duper on board with Pentagon Dark.
Nah.
I like him. I liked Pentagon. But this like new change is kind of like, oh, he's Undertaker dark. And what does that mean? Well, he just kind of slightly blackened everything on his gear, and he wrestles exactly the same, and he's just angrier. But, I mean, he's always an angry character. It's kind of like, you didn't change him enough to...
Yeah. Warrant adding, swapping Junior for Dark.
Yeah, like, maybe it's something deep in Lucha culture I'm just not getting the connection to, but it's like...
Yeah.
To go from scary goth guy to scary goth guy.
Angrier, scary goth.
Yeah.
Scarier and gothier.
Match-wise, I thought it was pretty good. Mysterio winning, a little surprising. They keep having him beat everybody, so I assume it means somewhere down the line he's got to put over somebody.
I mean, they had a little bit of a reason for that. Pentagon came out and kind of, locked eyes with the Vampiro, and saying shit to him, and obviously Vampiro's like, hey man, I can't be here right now,
What did you think with Bray winning with a Canadian Destroyer, Mexican Destroyer, Lucha Destroyer? Not a finish.
Yeah.
It's cool enough, I guess. It's a strong move to win on. But I don't know if they're going to make that his finish in Lucha. It doesn't really seem like a whole lot of guys have a quote-unquote finish in Lucha.
That's true. I never really thought about that.
Like, Matanza has his. He has the flatliner, but at the same time, he was a big wrestler in TNA. So, American style, you always going to have a finishing move. Ricochet has a finish. Oh, Puma. The 630.
Oh my god. My mind immediately went to Mucha Lucha.
Yeah. If I could only ask you one question, it'd be like, is that why you named yourself that?
It was like the pulverizing pinball? I don't know.
Yeah.
When did they ever do that in Lucha Underground?
Kuma just sucks his arms in. But yeah, like only a few people actually have like what I would consider that's what they win matches with.
Yeah.
Mundo, but again, he's an American style wrestler. Same with PJ Black and Jack Evans. So, the American style guys have a finish. Matanza has a finish. I think Son of Havoc kind of has a finish. He's got the, they actually give it a name on this episode. It's a shooting star, but
yeah.
I can't remember what the hell they called it. Oh, the Fortunate Son. So yeah, he's got a finish. So you kind of, but a lot of the straight out of Mexico guys, they don't really have a finish. There's not like this is what they want to win with. Drago's been kind of using that Dragon Whip pin thing. It's kind of a weird thing for a finish.
Yeah.
It's just not something you'd ever see in American style wrestling, where your finish is just like a roll up, effectively.
Yeah. Like
a super roll up, but a roll up nonetheless. It's like, haha, I am the best. The other guy's just kind of like, huh, that was it. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll kind of start seeing that a little bit more. They kind of go a little bit more Americanized on everybody has a finishing move and try to build that up kind of thing. But, yeah, Ray using the Lucha Destroyer, as they want to call it there. A little weird. I don't know if they're going to keep that up as his finish. They're definitely keeping the 619 as one of his big super moves.
Yeah.
And he's always got the battered sausage and the frog splash if he needs him. So, alright, let's...
And the last little thing, we had little Prince Puma, the locker room, the Vampiro, giving him a little advice, so...
I was surprised by how good that was.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a little mixed on Vampiro. I think he's good sometimes. Sometimes he can get a little too cheesy.
Yeah. But,
like when he was the Maestro. A little too on the cheese for me. But this was solid, like, hey man, I'm just a dude trying to tell you what it is.
And even if it does come to, him taking Prince Puma, I don't think it'll be nearly as all over the place as it was with Pentagon.
I think they kind of got screwed because I think they thought Conan was going to hang around and him not hanging around like Puma.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're going to move him to Puma's manager, we kind of talked about this a little bit before we recorded too. The idea of moving Ray to commentary with Matt Stryker could work pretty good. Have Vampiro kind of work between being in the back and being a manager for some of the guys. Bring in a couple other guys, because some of the dudes not speaking English, it's going to hurt them on promos.
Yeah.
The fact that Pentagon is getting over with it, it's more of a gimmick than it's going to really...
Yeah. I mean, like, he does speak English, but he clearly prefers... He speaks Spanish.
English in the way that Asuka speaks English. Like, I think they have to prepare him lines, and... Yeah. I think you're right. He can kind of come out there and cut a couple of lines, but I don't think he speaks I don't think he's coming out there with a free bike and telling off somebody. Because I think that's just the way they got to do. I heard Truth Martini's leaving Ring of Honor, pick him up Lucha. He'd be a good guy, make another stable around. Just a couple guys. Some of those old ECW guys, bring some of them in as managers. That could work. Those guys need money, man.
Yeah.
Pass it around, give some love to everybody. Look at some of these guys WWE's not taking into the Cruiserweight Classics. You can get a couple of them in. Because they need a couple more English-speaking guys. I mean, I get it. You want to have the cross. They want to go for what SmackDown used to have, where they had a very strong Latino following, and I can't blame them. That was very good numbers on SmackDown. But if you want to get the rest of the crowd, you need to have some guys that can cut promos. I don't have any issue with them cutting their own promo first in Spanish and then going to the manager to get the point across to everybody else that doesn't speak Spanish. I think that's the money. That's where it is. I bring in Truth Martini right now. That first and foremost, Vampiro, pick up a couple guys in the back. You gotta get these guys over. Like obviously Mundo doesn't need a manager. He's got his team. He can talk for them because he's really solid on the mic. I think you might see Paige and Berto show up.
Yeah. Someone we didn't really talk about. Alberto is now officially released.
I think we kind of talked about it a little bit last week, but I can't remember.
Yeah, but now he's actually officially released. He's gone. Yeah. Officially. And it is Paige. Excuse me. Paige is very close. She hired a legal team.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Oh yeah, that's the big.
So
thing.
the rumor was true then that they were pressuring her to break up with him, or they were in a fire. So yeah.
So that definitely that's not what
she's gonna get a settlement. I mean, there's no way they can make an argument about that where it's like, oh, we didn't like our contractor dating somebody.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be one of those things that I think is gonna set precedents for some other changes in pro wrestling. Because there's a lot of dumb shit. Like Ryback, he has a podcast now, and he was kind of talking about some of the shit about how he was getting offers to do the cover of Muscle Mags, but because they were really doing a campaign around Roman Reigns, they were pulling him.
And then she just goes and sits down. She's like, yeah.
He was saying he couldn't do Muscle Mags because that's what Roman Reigns was doing. So it's like, you're a contractor, you're not an employee. They can't tell you anything like that. But they'll push you and devalue you, so when you end up having to leave, they can offer you either no money or you really can't collect much afterwards. So that's how they kind of control people. But stuff like this is going to be the kind of stuff that changes that real quickly.
Oh, yeah.
If she really wants to go through with it. I mean, WWE's got the money where they can fight it for a while, but I can't imagine a way. WWE might just want to settle and not have the bad publicity out there. Release her of her contract, release any of the weird, stupid restrictions they put on, like you can't appear on television for a year and all that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Give her, some pocket money to get her out of there and cut ties, build up, new girls, go get yourself another little British, muffin. Build her up, just rub it in her face effectively. And, when her and Berto break up down the line, you rub it in her face when she wants to come back. I think that's the way. And if they don't and they fall in love and they do good shit in Mexico or TNA or wherever the fuck they want to go, you can rub it in WWE's face. So,
All power to them. They're both very talented. It's just kind of sad to see it all kind of end like this. But,
I can understand from WWE's side. They put a lot of money and time into Paige trying to build her up, and then she's kind of squandering it.
Yeah.
So I can see from both sides. I got a feeling this is going to be a big game changer, though.
Yeah. But all right. So in a sec, we're gonna go on to our predictions for Backlash. It's gonna get up the.
Gonna see if there's matches other than the 6 we have in mind. Yeah. I assume there must be, but I don't know.
We'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, so basically for Backlash, so far there are only 6 matches in the card. We have, of course, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship belt. Dave, what are you predicting?
I'm guessing AJ fairly strongly, fairly clean. maybe a little bit of shenanigans, but fairly, I think AJ's the top guy. They need to put it over like that.
And Merlin just cannot seem to help herself tonight. Yeah.
Now you're gonna do the happy dance for everybody on the internet. Alright, continuing on.
Alright, so yeah, I agree. I believe I would definitely think AJ would be the one to go over. You know, this might put a... I don't know what they're planning on doing with Dean. I feel like he's... like, with, especially the angle with Dolph. Like, I feel like
he's fizzling hard. I think a lot of people are like, hey, he's the top guy, give him a chance, and it's just not working.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dean. I'm not ready to buy one of his t-shirts or anything.
But do you feel he's the top guy on SmackDown?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, you do, or...
Oh, I mean, they're at least trying to make him out to be.
Well, I mean...
But I feel like...
Week, I feel like...
No, it's AJ.
Alright, so if we had, like, let's do a little top 7 ranking. Right now, week to week, you're saying AJ?
AJ, Dean.
You have him over Cena?
Well, I mean, Cena's not around.
Let's go keep him there. Cena.
Alright.
Cena could come back anytime and demand a title match, you know.
Yep.
Well, fair enough. He's got the backing for it.
Alright, so we'll do
You
that.
got Dolph. You think Dean's above Dolph in terms of performance week to week?
Yeah.
See, I'm not 100% on
I feel like Dolph's like right under him.
I feel like he's booked to be stronger than Dolph, but I don't feel week to week he's putting on...
Yeah.
So I'm trying to discount booking-wise completely. I think...
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a Cena guy, I think Cena puts on strong promos. He puts on solid matches. Dean, I'm not super sold on his moveset at all.
No.
It feels comedy mid-card to me, and it's just like...
It's just not... It's just not what you expect, and it's not what you want for someone who's supposed to be your top guy.
I think you turn him heel, and it opens up a lot of doors.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was about to get at.
Because
I feel like...
it's so goofy, like the character he's playing right now.
I feel like having Dolph winning the championship beforehand would have opened up, like, Dean to kind of actually go into that
Yeah, I felt like there should have been a
insane
ref
mentality and actually turn him heel. I think that would have been the way to go, but...
I thought...
I also should have thought they should have took the titles off the New Day, and...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love the New Day.
I felt like Dolph should have gone for that moment of, you know, did I prove myself to you? And Dean's just kind of like, no, I still beat you. And then kind of walked away. So he's like, oh, he's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah.
And then slow burn it, and he's just kind of like, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, and then he could start telling off the fans about, like, hey, you guys were all like, oh, Dean, we love you. You're our favorite Shield guy. Turn on Roman. And now what? You guys are all like, oh, you suck. What did I do wrong? And, you know, just kind of like, fuck you, fans.
Yeah.
But,
Alright, going on.
we didn't finish our rank. Where do you put Randy in Dean?
Oh, Randy. Randy's only been back. He's only had a couple matches.
So you just kind of NA?
Yeah.
Bray and Dean.
Again.
I'm just straight up admit I'm a Dean hater. I don't care what everybody can tell me how great he is, and you loved him as John Moxley, and he's so cute with Renee. I just week to week, the shit he's doing, promo, ring wise, that's what I care about.
Yeah, his promos are just killing it for me.
And everybody's like, oh, he's a good talker. And I'm like, he can talk a lot, but like when people are like, Dean's a good talker, Seth talks too much. I'm just like, are we watching the same shows? Because Seth seems like a pretty solid talker, like, and
he's also a whiny heel.
Yeah,
like it's.
But Dean just like, I don't even know what happened in the final promo. Like, I saw a bowling trophy, and he got kicked in the Jesus zipper. Other than that, I can't tell you anything about that promo. Like, nothing stuck out to me. I'm going to be fair to AJ and just be like, I'm not super keen on his promos. I don't think they're bad, but they're nothing I'm writing home to. But yeah, out of the top guys, I just don't see Dean there. I think he's better than Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
But that's about it when it comes to the top guys. And boring Corbin. Even though I think Baron Corbin had he looked better in the match against Dean than he has against a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's just a Styles thing. He needs somebody like that to work with to make him look strong.
Could be.
Alright, so let's continue on.
Alright, so next up,
Let's just go through the tag match.
Alright. So, obviously the Usos versus the Hype Bros.
Usos win. I don't think it's an argument.
No, not at all. So, yeah, Usos.
And then Jason Jordan interferes in the second match. Heath and Rhino win.
I'm 50-50 on this. Like, I feel like the Heath Slater...
Do you think he doesn't get
gimmick?
a contract and you keep it going?
I feel like it's too good of a gimmick.
I feel like you can keep the gimmick going with him having a contract, but maybe you are right. Maybe it's stronger.
And then he doesn't have to be limited to just SmackDown. That's the beauty of it.
But Rhino's only on SmackDown.
True, but
I guess Rhino could show up in Raw vignettes. What the hell not? I guess. I mean, if they're going to be at Heath's home and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, they could just break up the thing right then and there. I mean, they don't have to be.
I like them together though. It's a good oddball. I guess if they lose, Rhino could take it out on Heath and, turn heel himself. He's just kind of like, what the heck, man? I thought we were friends.
You could even do the gimmick where his kayfabe wife just comes in and just, like, smacks him across the face. And just, like, leaves him or something like that. Just to make him feel, like, really shitty.
Yeah, I want them to continue with the Heath stuff. I think you can do a lot of really funny stuff with it. So yeah, maybe that is the way to go and just put it on the Usos.
But then again,
Heath has to do something else.
Who wouldn't love to see Heath Slater win?
Here's my thing is, if you're going to have Usos and American Alpha feuding, who feuds with the tag champs?
Ooh, I think you just made a good point right there.
So I think that's why I'm wearing the cap.
I think what could happen is, even if Heath, like you said, have American Alpha come out, screw over the Usos, get Heath to have the win, have the Usos next show win it.
You know what I could see, in all honesty? Have American Alpha interfere. Heath gets like a roll-up and like a quick pin, and then Brian and Shane come out and they're like, hey, we did this for too long to have a fuck finish, or the PG version of that. And they're like, hey, restart it, and then immediately they lose. So you get that like great, like, yeah, Heath won, and then like the Usos just double, and he's dead. And he's like,
but because he did win,
he gets that argument to keep going forward, but they don't give him the contract right away.
So they give him another opportunity.
Yeah, effectively.
So, no matter what, it's going to come up Heath Slater. We're still going to get more good Heath Slater stuff.
Yeah, I think he doesn't get the contract, but he has an argument, and they keep it going. I think you brought that up as a solid point, and then obviously, where do Heath and Rhino go from there?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you could kind of fill the time with some more fun tag teams of the past kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to get short-lived fast. Yeah. Unless, I mean, they could do some fun shit with it. I mean, you have, like, JBL go into the ring, and then, like, Ron, and they just, like, kill Heath Slater. But then you have, like, one of the other referees come out and like, you guys aren't cleared to wrestle, so you can't be the champions. They're like, damn! Like, stuff like that could be really
That
fun.
would be great.
And like Rhino's just standing there like holding the tag rope the entire match. And then just Heath Slater getting killed in the ring by like all these tag teams in the past as the tag team champions. Just waiting for the Usos and American Alpha.
Yeah.
And nobody, has any false, it's like, oh, they're great champions. Like, JBL could be the only one that kind of puts him over like that.
Yeah.
And like, oh, Rhino's a strong competitor. What about Heath Slater? He tries.
He's a hard-working man.
He's trying to get that food on the table for all of his children. You know how much it costs to feed all them children, Maggle? Or Morrow, whatever your name is?
Magaro.
Alright, so we got the women's six-pack challenge.
Women's six-pack challenge. Nikki Bella.
I
Becky
gave my
Lynch.
opinion earlier.
Becky Lynch. Naomi. Natalia. Alexa Bliss and Carmella.
I'm calling Nikki, but I don't like it.
I feel like they're putting too much emphasis on Becky to actually have her win.
If I had to pick who I want to win and who has the best story coming out of it, it's either Becky or Alexa.
Yeah.
Because Alexa can make the argument like, it hasn't really been on me. no spotlight on me, but I'm going to show him, kind of storyline. Or Baxter, and then you have your face, and you can... I feel like the Nikki Carmella is the story going into it, though. So I feel like they're going to be the final two. Nikki wins. What about you?
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I mean...
The fact Carmella's gone over on everything going into it, it's kind of WWE booking. That means the face is going to win.
Nikki's going to get her little revenge.
Oh. Alright, so what was the other one? Dolph and Miz.
Dolph and Miz.
Miz. I think you guys keep that slow burn going on the Dolph losing streak. Becomes the big matches, he keeps losing. I'm telling you, I think that's my Hawkins booking. I'm telling you, that'll work. So I think Dolph slowly descends towards heeldom with a losing streak. And then following the next week, you start doing like number one contenders, and immediately Dolph's out of the tournament. Lose to Apollo Creed. Cruz. Tony, drop the goddamn last name. Apollo.
See, I'm going for
Rusev in disguise.
I like your version. I think that could also work. But I think it's going to be Dolph. I think Dolph's going to get it. They're going to continue with this whole, Miz, you don't think you're a coward, but, what have you done to prove that you're not? So, plus Miz being the Miz, he's also going to want to retake and show everybody that he's not a coward. Maybe he'll get it back. But I feel like they're going to keep going with that between the two.
I can see that too.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the way you're talking that could be the way that they go either. But I'm gonna stay away from the same prediction for once, and I'm gonna go Dolph.
Alright, and then any other predictions? Any other matches? That was all.
Yep, last one, Randy versus Bray.
Bray needs it, but Randy needs it. So I think Randy gets it. Bray needs every match to win effectively. That's pretty much all Bray matches. But after Randy just got murdered, I think.
Yeah,
So I think Randy wins. Bray attacks him afterwards.
Yeah, they could do that.
Or if Harper's ready to come back. So
I was literally just gonna say that could be the only.
Because I think I've heard that Harper was at the developmental center, just kind of getting ready to come back.
That's the only way I can see Bray winning this.
Yeah.
Is if he gets an assist.
And that would also probably bring back Rowan. So you'd have all three of the Wyatts back, and they just fucking shit stomp Randy. And then you kind of continue that Bray Wyatt wants Brock Lesnar story.
Even if there's no actual end to the match, Randy wins because of disqualification, but they're the Wyatts, so they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about winning the match; it's about breaking Randy.
I could see Randy hits the RKO on Bray, lights go out, Bray's missing from the ring, and he's like, "What the hell?" The referee's in there like,
"Let's go out again, Harper."
Yeah, Harper and Rowan.
Well, I feel like it would have to be just. No, they bring.
They haven't had Rowan on TV, so I think that's why they took him off TV. Wait for Harper to come back.
So it has to be. Bray comes up behind him. He turns around. Lights go out again. Come back up.
Oh.
Him and. Oh, God, I'm just having a brain fart.
Harper and Rowan.
Rowan. Have just him and Rowan.
Yeah.
Randy, turns around again. He's like, "Get ready. Lights go out again." Harper standing right behind him, and he's the one to pull the trigger, effectively.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Or I would have Rowan just standing over the ref, and then Harper hits the big boot on Randy. Or just have Rowan standing over the ref so the ref took a bump. Randy goes after Rowan, Harper comes out of the crowd, it's like, look, Harper's back! And then, they just beat him up, match ends.
Right.
There is no victor, but referee's been knocked out, total chaos.
Yeah.
You bust Randy open again. So you can kind of make it look a little bit, obviously not...
Yeah, not to the same degree.
Not ocean of blood in the ring, but, you bust him up again. You kind of work the stitches and see if you can get a little bit of juice. Or blood pack. I really had no issue with them using blood packs. And he's got a little bit of a gash. So you can be
I would like that ending.
And then
tells a better story. Yeah. You know, Bray looks strong, and he needs it so bad. He needs it more than fucking Randy Orton.
Yeah, but anytime anybody needs anything, it's generally Bray Wyatt taking a loss.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that's what they do.
So I got one last match. They haven't announced it, but I kind of have a feeling we're probably going to get it somewhere because they need to fill time. Boring Corbin and Kalisto.
Yeah, but Kalisto's on Raw.
No, Sin Cara's on Raw. Remember, he was just feuding with Braun Strowman.
Isn't Baron Corbin on... No, you're right.
Because remember, he had the whole Hayden rape angle going,
right,
and they dropped it for a week.
Right.
So you think we get the payoff of that, and Boring Corbin just kills Kalisto again?
Yeah, on the pre-show.
And then I assume some sort of Apollo squash match on the pre-show. Apollo beats somebody.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, alright guys, that's pretty much been this week in wrestling. Like I said, because, you know, unforeseen circumstances, we're going to have to get to the Backlash, as we call it, next week. It'll be Sunday to Friday is when we're going to record. So anything that happens there, from the semifinals of the CWC, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground, Backlash itself. Fill you with all that stuff, plus Talking Smack, anything that comes out on the network. I don't think they really said anything's supposed to come out special.
Isn't that a new thing?
Oh, the animated series?
Yeah,
if that comes out, I'll check it out. Charge maybe.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. That looks like fun. I love shit
any
like
sort of like big...
you know what it's like? It's like Shorties watching Shorties. That thing that was on Comedy Central a few years ago. It's pretty much that, but instead of comedic shit, it's wrestling stories.
Yeah, and then any sort of podcast, if I see them that are special and worth talking about, and recent, I'll give you guys a heads up, a little, and any sort of news we find out along the way. Alright guys, wrapping this up, I'm Dave.
I'm Supercharged Funk, thank you guys, and we will see you next week.